Hello, everybody. This is Steve, the tour guide, and I've just returned from an incredible whirlwind tour and cruise of Greece, Turkey, and Rome with Athey Creek Christian Fellowship. The theme of the tour was the footsteps of Paul the Apostle, as well as the 7 churches of the book of Revelation. And it was a great time of touring, of history, of hearing some great teaching from some world-class guides. I loved the fellowship, and I actually got to meet some of you who watch this channel for the first time, which was such an odd experience. I remember showing up to the hotel in Athens and total strangers who I'd never met before coming up as if to greet a long-lost friend. Such is the power of media and YouTube, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you that I met. You also gave me some great ideas for going forward with the channel. Previously on former videos, I've asked you guys to make comments to the videos, which not only helps the videos get promoted through the algorithm of YouTube, but it gives me some feedback and some guidance on how to go forward. What do you guys want to hear from me? What do you expect from this channel? What topics do you want me to cover? Do you only want this to be a current events related channel, of just war updates from Israel or, and whatnot? So I got some good ideas from you guys, and several of you had asked me to actually make some videos that present the teachings I gave on the ship or throughout the tour, and I plan to do that, certain themes that we covered, and I'm going to do that in the coming weeks. But this particular video has to do with events that happened while on tour, namely the assassination of the head of Hamas while in the most guarded compound in the heart of Tehran. It happened while we were on the boat, and for most of the time that I was on this cruise ship, I was sort of in a news blackout. I didn't have access to the Wi-Fi or to the global web or to the news. Occasionally I would get updates, and I got enough information that the pastor and I were able to film a current events or prophecy update right from Patmos, the island in which the book of Revelation took place, the island on which John the Revelator was kept prison. So if you want to see that update that I did with Pastor Brett Metter of Athey Creek, I'm linking it to the description of the video below, okay, where I put all sorts of links for you to pursue, and that's one of them. And it was a 45-minute serious discussion about current events, Israel, and of course a prophecy update, how Israel and those current events fit into the grand scheme of biblical prophecy for the times that we live in. The name of this video is The Die Has Been Cast, and that's related to the assassination of Ismael Hanniyeh that I just mentioned a few minutes ago, that happened in the most guarded compound in the heart of Tehran. And at first, the Iranians treated it like it was an attack on their sovereign territory by missiles or rockets fired from Israel or fired from an Israeli F-35, a fighter jet. And they treated that as an attack on their sovereign territory, which for them is a casus belli, an excuse to attack Israel, and a counterstrike. It was later revealed in the media that the assassination of Ismael Hanniyeh likely, in all probability, took place by means of a bomb, 3 of them to be precise, that were spirited into the compound, which comprised of 3 rooms, so therefore a bomb in each room, 2 months before his arrival to this compound. He was in Iran to commemorate the rise to power of Iran's new president, the one that's replacing the former president Raisi that was killed in a helicopter accident, a couple months ago. He was scheduled to be in Tehran for that. He arrived, and a bomb had been placed in that apartment 2 months prior to this explosion by Iranian nationals working on behalf of Israel's intelligence agency, the Mossad. Again, when the Mossad does these things in foreign territory, such as Iran, it doesn't send its own Israeli nationals or Jewish spies of the Mossad, which only number a couple thousand in the entire agency, but rather they use local collaborators, okay, in this case, Iranian nationals who are ideologically opposed to the regime that governs their country. And these were evidently high-level people within the Iranian regime because they were able to bring bombs in, plant them in the apartment, and then wait to hear this, 2 months later, detonate them from abroad, not even from within Iran. Okay, it's believed that they had escaped Iran shortly after planting those bombs 2 months ago and detonated them from abroad. That's unbelievable. That's amazing. Think of all the logistics involved with that. They would have had to have had scouts on the ground, or eyes on the ground, to report to them that Hanniyeh had arrived to the compound. And then, of course, from those scouts, note to detonate the bomb from abroad. Amazing. But even though it was revealed that the assassination was carried out by way of bombs, not aircraft, not missile or rocket strikes from Israel, Iran is still treating this as an attack on its sovereign territory, and is threatened for the past 2 weeks, or let's say from that assassination, almost, let's say 10 days ago or so, to retaliate against Israel with a strike exceeding, but similar to the one that it struck against Israel back in April, to recall, that was with 300 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones. Israel was able to shoot down 99% of them, of course, with the help of America, Jordan, and other participants in the coalition of the defense that was brought together to protect Israel in the moment. And Iran has threatened to do it again. Now, according to Israel's assessments, there's been a battle going on within Iran. Voices of moderation by the new president of the country begging the Ayatollah, who's the real power in Iran, not to go through with this threat, because he knows that Israel has the ability to launch a crippling counterstrike. A counterstrike so crippling that it would threaten the regime's very ability to remain in power. But against his voice of caution is the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards. He's a zealot, and he wants to hit Israel hard, and exceeding, as I said, the attack last April. And it looks like his voice has prevailed. For the latest assessment from Israel's intelligence is that Iran is highly likely to attack Israel between today and Thursday. Now, why today? Because today marks the beginning of a holiday, or a fast in Israel, known as Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av, or the 9th of the month of Av, commemorates the destruction of the 2 previous Jewish temples, neither of which were destroyed exactly on the day of the 9th of Av. I remember sitting in a class in Hebrew University wherein the professor said that one of those temples was destroyed on the 8th of Av, the other destroyed on the 10th of Av, and therefore the 9th of Av was chosen to commemorate them as a compromise between those 2 dates, okay? The day between the 2 dates that these temples were destroyed. So the 9th of Av in the Hebrew calendar mourns not only the destruction of the 2 temples, but a whole mythology has been added to this day. According to this day, supposedly, was the day that Haman decided to commit the act of genocide against the Jews back in ancient Persia, in the book of Esther. According to the mythology, the Jews were expelled from Spain on the same day. So the 9th of Av has become a day to basically grieve some of the most monumental days of grief in Jewish history. And Iran has chosen this day, or at least this period between today and Thursday, according to Israeli intelligence, to attack Israel. And it's not a coincidence. They're aware of the significance of this day. And for Iran, it's their way of saying, well, we want to join the list of those that have committed these egregious acts against the Jews and have created or caused some of the biggest tragedies in Jewish history. We want to destroy, the Iranians are saying, the 3rd Commonwealth. For each of those 2 Jewish temples' destruction signified the end of the previous 2 Jewish commonwealths, the first temple period of the dynasty of the Davidic family, okay, starting with King David and ending with the final king who was taken captive after his eyes were gouged out in the year 586 BC by Nebuchadnezzar, who destroyed the temple. The second temple being destroyed by Titus in AD 70, and that brought to an end the second Commonwealth of Israel, and today the modern state of Israel comprises what many call, including many Israelis, the third Commonwealth. Some Israelis even refer to today's Israel as the third temple era, even though we don't have a temple yet. The Iranians are saying, well, we aim to destroy that third Commonwealth, and therefore today is very symbolic for them. And again, the Israelis' assessment is that it's highly likely that between today and Thursday, why is Thursday the outer limit of this period that Iran is likely to hit, is because on Thursday Israel's supposed to negotiate with Hamas an end to the war and the release of the hostages. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it's supposed to be negotiated on Thursday. And for some reason, people have assessed that Iran will likely not attack beyond that day. After all, this is also being done in the name of identifying or solidarity with the Palestinians, okay, or with the Hamas in Gaza. Once the war ends, Iran and Hezbollah to the north have less legitimacy. I can't believe that they have any legitimacy at all, but in their eyes, they have legitimacy to attack Israel as long as this war continues. But if the war were to end on Thursday, it would, in their eyes at least, the eyes of Iran and Hezbollah, lessen the legitimacy that they have in the world's eyes to strike Israel. So the die has been cast, and it's likely, highly likely, according to Israel's own intelligence assessment, that Iran will attack Israel directly from its territory sometime between today and Thursday. And of course, when that happens, I'll probably come back to make another video to discuss the fallout of such an attack and Israel's likely counterstrike. Until then, folks, have a great day, and please feel free to write comments to this video. And it doesn't even have to be about this particular video, but things that you would like me to discuss going on in the future about any topic. Like I said, I got some great ideas on the boat from several of you that I met, and I plan to follow through and make videos of the subjects you asked me to take up. Anyway, this is Steve, the tour guide, signing off, wishing you a great day of peace and security, and be blessed. Bye-bye.